Southern Vanguard Radio, this is DJ John Doe, and right there in front of me in that little computer screen is my man.
Yo, y'all can't stand right there. What's up, homie?
Cappuccino Mix.
What's the deal?
Oh, man. I wish I could say that I just can't get over this Doom shit, man. It's tough.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm still waiting on some more information, man. But yeah, we'll see what's up with it. But peace to his family, man. Peace to his wife.
No doubt.
And all the fans out there and everything like that. We lost a great one. Yeah.
King.
Yeah,
no doubt.
long goddamn weekend, man.
Very
rough
long
beginning to the year, you know what I mean?
Very long.
Yeah.
I don't. A lot of folks don't know that me and this guy here have a good bit of history with that man, dating back to the early to mid 2000s, right, Meeks?
Yeah, for sure.
We were lucky enough to be running around in the same circles with him and did some music with him and. Just got to know that gentleman a little bit, 2 or 3 years. So that was a real blessing, and we're thankful for that. And
best thing was we got to see him in his element, man.
Yeah,
and it didn't get no raw than that. So I was humbled by that, and thankful I got to witness that, man. You don't get to see that a lot. Yeah, man, that shit was powerful, man. That's all I can say about that.
No doubt. Rest in peace, MF Doom, ZEV Love X, Daniel
Word.
Dumoulin. All right.
Dumoulin.
Otherwise, Meeks, Happy New Year to you, my brother. We've said this,
Happy New Year,
a number of times already, of course. Other than the end of the week being a real motherfucker, how's everything else going in your life?
I can't call him, man. I'm still on the marathon vacation until Thursday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You're still on vacay.
Yeah. Dragging this thing, man, dragging the hell out of it, bro. It's been good to me.
You got a week left? What do you got left?
Nah, I just got a couple more days, man. I got to go back Thursday.
Oh, this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were off.
Yeah.
I thought you were off until like the 10th or 11th or something wild.
Nah.
Well,
I've been off since the 14th.
Oh, okay. That's where it came from.
I'm a real G about mine. You know what I mean? The end of the year shit, man. Fuck that shit.
I thought you were off from the 14th to the 14th. I think that's where I got it.
I
confused.
could be, but I'm gonna go on back up in there, man. I got some shit to do. I got some things.
All right. Cool.
I got places to go, people to see, man.
Yeah,
I'm a
got
mover,
you.
a shaker, motivator. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into this thing. Enough about Meeks and I's personal life. If this is the first time you're listening, welcome. This is Southern Vanguard Radio. We drop twice a week. Tuesdays is a mix show. All new joints, all the latest and greatest hip-hop, cut up, sliced up, mixed like it should be. Meeks and I talking the awfulest bunch of shit you ever heard. Normally we're together, but, given COVID's been kicking us in the ass since March or so, we've been doing this thing virtually or remotely or, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So, one day we will get back to that, that normal. But until then, Meeks is broadcasting live, if you will, from his spot in the SWATs. I'm here at Dirty Blanket Studios here in Marietta, Georgia. And, we do this thing twice a week. So the second thing that drops during the week is an interview session, which is what you're listening to right now. In-depth interview with a MC, DJ, producer, behind the scenes type, person or, just someone that's involved or, people we fuck with, in this culture. So, make sure you subscribe on all your platforms, basically anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify podcasts, Apple podcasts, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, Apple podcasts, Google podcasts, YouTube, and Meeks, we have some folks that help us out as well.
You can check us out on atlhiphop.com. I am classicrawradio.net, return of the BoomBap, WRBB, X Squad Radio, X Squad affiliates, all those in Atlanta. And then we venture out to the West Coast with Soul Public Radio, Cali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I don't know. I think the interview from last week, man, has kicked off. You know, return guests. You know, we don't have folks, you know, on these interview sessions. You know, we don't have repeat guests, I guess you could say. You know, usually we try to keep it. You know, we switch it up and kind of, you know, are always trying to have someone on the show that we haven't had on the show before. But last week we had Dr. Butcher and CJ Moore on. You know, that was kind of a combo. You know, Butcher's a good friend of ours, and he brought CJ along, and we got into some real deep shit. I mean, usually what's a 45-minute, you know, interview turned into 2.5 hours of just, I mean, the history that was, you know, dropped in that thing was incredible.
No doubt.
So this week is actually a very similar kind of situation because we have our good friend, the architect, with us. Who, I mean, in every sense of the word, I mean, this gentleman comes up a number of times on the show, whether we're playing his music or, you know, this is the guy that was responsible for pushing us over the edge for doing that showcase at A3C a couple years ago.
Word.
So he is the architect in the truest sense of the word there.
Word.
And, you know, he put his foot in 2020's ass with, you know, another legend, you know, from the Bay Area, A+, and they are both here with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the architect and A+ of Hieroglyphics.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Hey.
What's up, fellas?
Hey,
peace.
What's good?
Fellas, welcome. Architect, welcome back.
Yo, peace, y'all. Peace.
I've been thinking about this all week, and I'm trying to figure out like which one of y'all got pissed off at the end of 2019 or early 2020 that made you guys go so hard this year, or last
Real
year,
hard.
I should say.
I mean, I could tell you me for sure, but that doesn't mean Ark didn't get pissed himself too. But I can tell you, it could be a combination of both of us, but it happening separately and just converging. But I can tell you, before 2019 was over, I had a plan for sure, and I was on some like fuck it, 220, I'm going in.
Yeah. Did it all work out for you?
Right before the like directly like at the very end of 2019, I known Ark for mad years, like over 20 years, but we bumped into each other just on some whole other studio shit, just like on Christmas Eve last 2019, basically. And that's when we just both, he was like, man, I'm going hard in 220. I was like, man, I'm going hard in 220. And then we was just like, fuck it, let's go hard then, you know?
All right.
That's my short version of it. I know Ark could say it like his own way, but.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, you feel like you got everything accomplished that you set out to do, or is it going to carry over into 21?
Well, personally, so we had our little move going, and then COVID happened, so that slowed down some progress for sure. Just, I mean, you know, understandably for everybody.
Yeah.
So I felt like we got a whole lot in, and we definitely plan on going in some more. But I think with our original plan, if there was no COVID, we would have even got it in more.
Yeah.
But I'm not. That said, I'm not like disappointed or nothing like that. But that did like throw everybody for a loop, including our efforts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So basically, it ain't over. Y'all better get ready for some more.
Oh no doubt. You know, like what he was saying. Like it was Christmas Eve. He came through to record a joint at my studio, and you know that I think it was that night. I was like, yo, I made a beat later on, and we was like, yo, boom, boom, and he just got in there, had to write the rap on the spot. And that song is actually the first song on the Free Dope album that set this whole thing off.
The first joint you guys did?
Yeah.
Say again?
The first joint you guys did? Really? Okay. All right.
Yep.
Awesome.
The very first joint. And then after that, we busted that album down. You know, it was a couple months, maybe less. And then, you know, when we was done with that, we was like, yo, we dropping another joint. Because, you know, we ended up having that come out on Chop Herring Records. Shout out to them.
Word.
And, you know, right after that, it was like maybe the day we was finishing, maybe the next day or a day or two, we might have took a couple days off and got right back to it. And that is Chamber Games.
Okay.
Right.
So
Art, did you just have a stash of beats you just sent over, or were you guys kind of creating in the lab, you know, on the fly, or? I'm sure COVID.
Yeah, we
probably
really did it on the spot. You know, this effort that we do isn't an email effort. We kind of took it. I mean, we already know each other. So let me just say this: like, prior to this, I was DJing or doing my beat thing with the 404 with Souls of Mischief.
Yep.
And I would be, I'd have my 404. I chose to use the drum machine thing, because everybody was DJing, and I would play their beats through there as they did the performances with Breakbeat Lou. He would handle the turntables, and I was handling the, the beat thing or whatever, the 404s.
Right.
And, that was already going on. Like Please said, we had our studios next to each other. My studio was next to HIERO's studio in San Francisco at one point. So we've all known each other for so long. So once we linked up and did that first joint, it was just like, it's what we do. Like we in person hanging out, doing hip hop. It's more about us hanging out and doing the hip hop. We be having fools come through, at least to me, you know what I mean? It's like the, that part of the science where you just vibing. So no, the beats were not necessarily made. A lot of those beats were made on the spot.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like the old school way.
Right. Well, remember we were talking, I was just like, man, the chemistry's crazy. Like I knew there was something else to it than just, doing some email shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. This is not email music.
Right.
Yeah.
That's real dope.
Every single song that we made was made right there in the studio. Every rap that I wrote right there in the studio and then walked right into the booth and laid it. Every single song, every night. Just like reminiscent of how we used to get down back, how you had to get back down in the day because of technology wasn't where it is now,
For sure.
And literally, like, anytime a beat will come up, like, or he's making a beat or whatever, I'll be like, I'll listen to it, and then we'll sit and have a talk about it. I'll be like, so what was you feeling, or what kind of vibes do you get from this beat as the person who made it? You know what I'm saying? And he'll just say wherever he felt. Or like,
got you. So I mean, what was it? So the plan was to have 4 projects, or that's just the way that it kind of fell. Art.
Well, the science, it wasn't really like we going to have 4 projects. We were doing them as they came.
Yeah.
But we knew we wanted to do a lot of music. And the whole thing behind that was just basically how it's done now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, me delving into what, working with the guy Fahim and these different guys, K Burns and all these different dudes, I kind of touched in on how much activity you really need to do to keep up. So, I kind of, I'm pretty prolific with what I do, and Please prolific with what he does. So it was kind of like, we can keep up.
For sure.
And that's really what it is. It's like we keeping up. Plus, this is like become part of our lives. So we do this regardless. Like whether, we're not really checking for if it's 1 million hits or whatnot like that. It's more like,
you just doing the
we
work.
know who fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? And we make music for them. You know what I mean? And that's really, really what, what it's all about,
Word.
Yeah.
Kicking it.
Yo, hey, quick question, man. With you and Architect both being producers, man, were there also some conversations about the beatscapes that were provided? Like, would y'all bounce ideas off each other about the structure or the arrangement of the joints? Or how was that dynamic?
Well, on that note, that's a very good question. I'm sure Art could tap in on that as well. From the very onset of the whole thing, we was already just worked out. I was like, look, man, I just want to rap this year. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like, I make beats. I'm gonna make my beats at home or whatever. But I'm in here. I'm like, you the captain, bro. You got the beat, and I was like, you the captain, and I'm the guns, basically. You know what I'm saying? and you steer the ship, and I'll do all the shooting. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, what we came to an agreement. I was just like, man, like, because if I picked every beat myself, it'll sound a certain way because I have a certain preference, and I'm a melodic ass motherfucker, and I like that kind of shit,
right.
whatever. Or I just like certain kind of beats. So I was just like, man, whatever you think should be on there, you pick these beats, and it'll just be, if I like it, that's dope. And like some beats is some shit I wouldn't have picked that I ended up rapping over, end up being like some of my favorite songs. So like, I mean, ultimately in the end, it's all agreeable. But he Art pretty much like, like he keeps me in on it. Like we talk about it, but he has in mind how like we call him chambers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, however you want this. however you think the whole thing is supposed to sound, just let me know, and I'll do my rapping shit and go and do it that way. It's a trip. It's definitely agreeable, but he's steering the ship on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just an MC over here on this. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And at the end of the day, it's still 50-50. And like, if I don't like something, or if he don't like something, we still work it out. But he's steering the ship when it comes to that. And sometimes he just like, just trust me, just rap on that, like this to this. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And
nice.
It's always just worked out the whole way here. So that's just kind of like, you know, in shorthand, my version of the formula. I'm sure he could expound.
All right.
No, that's I mean, first of all, let's keep it 100, y'all. Like, you know, being in the captain seat of making the beats for a guy like A+, who's produced, you know, some of the greatest hip hop songs, you know. I mean, I could go into so many. I mean, we'll just say
time.
93 Infinity.
Yeah, you can say that.
A lot of that.
Of all time. Let's make that clear.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's definitely big shoes to fill to have that responsibility. But real talk, he's like, yo, you're pick, you know, you tell me what it is on the beats. And yeah, man, that's what it is. So, you know, I kind of just hear it, vibe it out, whatever we vibing on that day, whatever it is, you know, dig through the records like it was 91 or something, you know what I mean? It's real crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, then boom, the beats get made. Or, you know, I also have stuff on deck. It's not like I don't have nothing on deck. I have stuff on deck. We might go through those, you know, and then, you know, see what works. But either way, you know, it's the whole studio process because, you know, we old school studio dudes. These aren't 2-track beats. Everything gets tracked out. You know what I mean? So we be sitting here while the sounds are bouncing out. We really trying to mix, whether, you know, we don't really have to, but why not?
You know what I mean? You should. So, more people should do that, actually, but they don't.
We try to, you know, experiment and really go in, you know?
Yeah. That's one of the things that I've loved about everything that you guys have done this year is just how gritty and grimy it is. You know, I mean, AR, I hear you all over this, like from a production standpoint, you know, for sure. And I was, you know, A, to your point, I was happy to hear you. I could kind of tell that, like, you were like, all right, I'm rapping, you know what I mean? Like, I'm rhyming and like everything else, like, this guy's going to handle that. It probably takes the load off a little bit too, from a pressure standpoint and just the workload in general, right?
It really does, man. And like, that's what I wanted coming into coming out of 2019. I've been making so many beats and I just got a bunch of them and I got a bunch of projects and that, you know, and this and that. But I just wanted to rap, man. And I just wanted to just rap, you know what I mean? And really, that first album, Free Dope, we were just like, Ark was just like, man, just say whatever, just rap, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
just rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna. Even when I was writing the raps, I was like, I'm just gonna write whatever comes to my head. I'm not gonna be all like picky choosy about like fine tuning the shit. Because like when you're in a group with a bunch of like with souls or hieroglyphics or a bunch of people, like you only really rap on songs so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Souls of Mischief, you really only get so much time on a song. With High Roll, like, you know, it's like anywhere from 2 to, you know, 6 people on a song. And so, like, I just wanted to, like, and with when you're using that amount of time, you kind of, like, you're thinking a little bit harder, and there's a bunch of people there. And so you're thinking about conveying your thoughts in a short amount of time. And that's just something I've gotten used to over my career and stuff. And I haven't really been much of a solo artist, although I've done certain things here and there. But like I just wanted to like do that. I just wanted to just rap, and I was just and for that first album, Ark was just like, yo, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of came together song by song. After a few days, we had like 4 or 5 songs to listen to, and we could like see it shaping together. And like he said before, he took the beat and the soundscape in that direction, and I just kept following that same shit. Like, I'm just gonna sit up here and just write whatever comes to my head without a whole bunch of pre-thought too much for most of it. Like, at least for most of the first album, like, even if it was like, I'm going to rap about this, I just thought of it right there and just wrote it. And I would like literally write these raps in like, you know, some shit like 20 minutes, some shit like an hour, just write the whole song, man, and hop right in the studio and get out. So like, I say all that to say, like, it was really just like, it was like really freelancing, like, you know, just freestyling on the first album. It was like we were just like just make us some dope shit, free dope. It was mad general. It was like what?
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta imagine it was a hell of a release too.
Man,
I never thought about it from that aspect of always being in a group setting and having like 8 bars, having to, really space your thing out, and then, come to the solo aspect and just have carte blanche on the whole track. Like that's gotta be man, I don't know, liberating of some sort to just be able, like, I'm about to go for broke.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. And it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to do.
And I also come from a group background. You know what I mean? So it's like, Homeless Derelicts, you know what I mean? Even Encore, it's like, fully producing records for those guys back in the day. So, it was real refreshing for me to kind of meet the situation as a group. Even though, he has a full entity, I have a full thing, but it's like coming together with ideas rather than, you send beats out and stuff, and that's popping too. But like I said, sitting down in the lab, that's kind of how, that's how I came up doing it.
That's the foundation, man. So, that's the foundation right there.
A lot of guys don't have time. They, shit is busy, whatnot. You know what I mean? But, it was real refreshing to see somebody meet me at my level even. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, I have 20, 50 beats sitting up. You know what I mean? Like, I'll make them make them on the spot. And this dude, like, he got bars, like, ready to go. Like,
running through them.
Never no sessions where we just ain't going to get shit done because fools done ran out of ideas. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, man. And, and hats off, hats off to that because,
For sure.
We in here 6 a.m, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like as things were dropping throughout the year, man, I think Black Switzerland is incredible. Like I don't know if you guys feel that way or not, but I feel like Black Switzerland was kind of like all this momentum that you guys had at the beginning of the year, like pouring right into that. And to me, that's my favorite release so far of the year. I love all of them, but I mean, did you guys have a different approach with that or no?
Go ahead, Art.
Well, the Black Switzerland, the whole concept, Black Switzerland is like this, man. It's like we was already rocking. You know what I mean? Like obviously we had did the 2 albums. Black Switzerland is like us really like saying, because I deal with a lot of all the Hiero people. You know what I'm saying? Like all the different guys, I got records with different guys and whatnot. But Black Switzerland was like a ode to the fact that as a producer, you know what I mean? I fuck with everybody. You know what I mean? And, that was the thing. Even though, the songs aren't about me necessarily and the songs aren't necessarily about that. But that was our energy. It was like, you know what, man?
Right.
Cleve was like, you fuck with everybody in Hiero, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you like Black Switzerland. And then I was like, oh, shit, word. He's like, you know what? Man, that's the album name. Man. That's the album name.
Ill.
So that name even came before we did the album.
Yeah. Oh, it did. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like the album was done and we had songs. We didn't even have one song for that. We was like, that's the name. I think we might have even been mixing chamber games or something was going on. But, you know what I mean? And boom, he was like, yo, you like Black Switzerland, boom. And I was like, oh, word, you know what I mean? And there it is.
That's so fucking ill.
That's the albums.
Yeah, when I saw the album title and I saw the cover art, I was just like, oh my God, like these motherfuckers are on some other shit. Oh shit. Word. I was like, oh Lord.
I don't.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with you too. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We got you.
What Art said, it was really just we were doing something that hadn't even started Black Switzerland yet. And we were just hanging out, and we just, we talk when we in there too, and we kick and we get our smoke on, and some of our friends come by, whether it's his or mine, and it happened just like that. We were just talking about, like, I was like, man, you work with everybody. It ain't nothing, man. This is what we doing here, but this ain't it. You got all kind of shit. I was like, man, you like Black Switzerland. And he was really like, word, oh, that's dope. Like, and then all of a sudden we both had shattering glass, like, oh, Black Switzerland. That's the title. And then we started working on it. But to your point, John Doe, I like all of the albums, man. But Black Switzerland is my favorite, and this is like I really love all of the albums. So me picking a favorite is really like it ain't like it's better than in my eyes.
Because, it's like picking your favorite kid or something.
That I love them all, yeah. But Black Switzerland is my favorite because it was like, Ark set the tone too for that one. He sets the tone for all the albums, really. I can't go into the specifics of what he says because it could be code words. I don't know, man. But for this one, he was just like, man, we got to be a little bit something like this on this one. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I don't know. It wasn't even so hella defining. Like, let's be like this, but let's have more of something. It's more of a descriptive vibe type of thing.
Yeah, that goes a long way. Actually, in the creative process, you know what I mean. I was gonna ask a question about some of the features y'all was able to pull in on the various projects. Was that kind of playing out also, or was that more organic? Like you was just saying, Cass was coming by the studio and shit. It's like, yo, we working on this right now. Hop on, or what's the deal?
Oh man, every single one of them cameos was like. It was thought of on the spot when we was there, and we was like, let's call him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nice.
From Kurious.
I like that, yeah.
Like, I called Kurious, I called Amani, he called Dale, he called PA. I hit Razzcast. Every time it was just, we was in the studio and was like, they would sound dope over this, let's hit them. And every time they was just like, cool, let's do it. Same thing, Ark ended up calling Tajay, you know what I'm saying? Like, or did I call Tajay? Or did I text him? No, I texted Tajay, right?
I think you hit him. We both hit him.
Yeah, we both.
Yo, let me say that y'all doing some serious flexing right now. I'm peeping the whole shit out. I'm peeping the whole shit out. Y'all flexing on a million right now, but I love that type of shit. I love that. Keep going, fellas. Yeah, I don't know who called Tajay. It don't even matter at this point. Fuck it. I called Tajay and told them to get with these two niggas. They doing some shit. You might want to holler at them.
For real though. Yeah, it was. I get a better way to say it would be. It was just spontaneous. We was just in there vibing, man. And then if it was anybody we could call, then if it was somebody who came up there, because there are people that popped up that we didn't necessarily have like that kind of access to, but it naturally works easier when you have relationships with the people.
Hell so
that's what ended up coming out, because everybody on the record so far is all people that we have relationships with. And yeah, we didn't plan it out at all. It just kind of popped up, And Ark, I don't know if you could tap in on that.
No, definitely. I mean, them joints was like phone calls, like, "Yo, what's up?" And it immediately, like, everybody, man, I got to really shout out to everybody that was involved, because it was like no drama, man. Just like, boom, we rappers, we rapping.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And boom, them joints was sent back so fast, and it was, it was perfect, man. And coming out the 90s and all these different eras of 2000, shit wasn't that easy, man.
Nah, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you probably like overthink things, right? It's kind of like one of those things. Like, I want to get somebody on this joint. Like, you got a 90s, or 80s mentality. Like, damn, like, I don't know, just got to do it, man. Just got to go for it.
Yeah, I think the thing about creating in the 90s and the early to mid 2000s was, I know for me personally, it was, studio was totally different than you wouldn't be rushed or anything like that. Like, you definitely want to be prepared for when you went in there, but it was a machine. Like, we not in here fucking around. Like, you got your rhyme ready. All right, we're going to get this beat going. We're going to knock this thing out. But when it's organic,
he wasn't there to play.
Yeah, what technology has allowed us is just, the ability to like really, really build with one another, man, and come together on some monumental shit. So yeah, I appreciate it for that aspect. A lot of the rest of this shit, all this social media.
I would say this, man, also shit. Technology, man, I would also say this though. Because everybody has a studio, and because it really don't cost no money unless you make it cost money, right?
Right.
To make the music, you got all these unlimited time things going on. You know what I mean? So it was, So it's like, it was 80 years to do a record. It's like, I had to, like, for me as a producer, I had to get over that. And I really hats off to the younger artists I work with also, because they kind of gave me that old insight of, man, you got opportunity to get shit done, man. This shit get this much, man. For us to get 4 albums done back in the day, bro.
Yeah.
That would have been that fucking $250,000 or some bullshit to go in the studio and do that shit.
Yeah, man.
Easy.
You'd have had
to have
just to record the music
over your shoulder. Like,
I'm
man,
talking
I
about
ain't
just to record the music and then the label
8
tell you
albums.
that.
Yeah, what the fuck is the problem?
And then after you record that shit, the label tell you it, whatever.
Yeah,
it ain't good.
Right.
It's good enough. It ain't blah, blah, blah. We don't want this one. We don't want. And, I came up through that. So it was like, you know what I mean? That shit, you know what I mean? It was a thing to get over. You know what I mean? So in a place now with the technology, I look at it like, yo, man, this,
let's put some shit out.
I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if you're an artist, you can't put no 4 records out in a year. People would be so upset. There was no label would do that.
Right.
Now, the only cats I remember trying to pull some shit off like that was trying to get out of that contract. They drop a double
you had those
double
dudes.
CD
You had
here,
Master
double
P and
CD
them.
there. Yeah.
You had Master P and independent artists to do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But even with that said, it wasn't even like I was necessarily on a major label at any time, but I'm just saying the mentality.
Yeah.
You got to pay $50 an hour at the studio. Shit like
Hell
that.
Hell yeah.
I'm taking advantage.
That's definitely the vibe when we was in there. Is that like, as much as we're gonna be in here and it's gonna be like a vibe, and we're gonna we're gonna be kicking it, that's gonna be also combined with the fact that we in here working this whole time. We're in here working. Like, I can't remember. There's only a handful of days that whole last year when motherfuckers went in the studio and didn't record something. Like it was literally like a handful of days where personally we didn't record a song. He might have just made beats all day. You know what I'm saying? But there was never a day when we didn't record something. And that was a part of the whole thing coming in too, with, like, when we were talking about from the end of 2019, is that, like, man, I just want to get shit done. He was like, man, I just want to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I've always been a fast studio dude, and not to say that's better or lesser. It's just that, like, everybody has their own process.
Right.
And with me, mine is like, I like to get it done, man. And it was just cool to be in that situation, to where the other person who just coincidentally makes beats and I rap both are feeling the same thing about music and output of quality music that we like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for people that like music like this. And that was a part of the premise in 2019. We were like, man, let's get to work. And I remember saying to him in the beginning of the year, I was like, watch me, bro. We had a thing. I was like, let's check back in after 5 songs. Let's check back in. We can't do that no more because we got 4 albums. But for the first album, and then we did it back again for Chamber Gangs. We was like, oh, here we go again. Let's see what this shit sound like after 5. Now we just be like, okay, we had 1, we had 5, we had 7, we almost, and like usually the last few songs we record, it really is like tying the albums together. It's like we really got a system. I don't want to say a system because it's really just organic, but it's just like kind of like we know what we both know what we doing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like it's easy and organic, man. You know what I mean?
It's like we were saying, it's like having 10,000 hours. You know what I mean? Like, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we know what we're doing.
Yeah. How'd the Kurious collab come about? Plus, you said you hit Kurious?
Yeah. So this is on everything. Oh, R.I.P. Doom. This is on everything. We were in the studio. R.I.P. Doom. I'm sure we'll get into that, man. But we were in the studio and I recorded my verse on the song, because we always send my verse to the person, except for Dale. Dale did his first, because Dale did his shit in like 15 minutes to send it back. But that's another story. So we were in there, the song with Kurious. I laid my part, and Architect was like, you know who would sound really dope on this? MF Doom. And I was like, yeah, he would. I was like, I don't got no access to MF Doom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Most people don't.
Yeah, he was like the hermit. And I was like, but I do have, and this is who I know Doom through Kurious. So, like, I was like, I'll hit Kurious. He'll get on this shit and he'll sound ridiculous. And Ark was like, oh shit, hit it. And then I immediately hit him. He had that shit back in like a couple of days. He was like, oh, for sure, because Kurious is my dude. He's like my brother from another in out there in New York. I mean, we're all really close with him. But that's like Bam Bam, you know what I'm saying? So I hit him. He was like, oh, no doubt, man. What the fuck? And he sent that shit back mad quick. But the original thought on that was like, Ark was like, you know who was when we were sitting around like whatever, he was just like out of nowhere. He's like, Doom would sound really good on this. And, that's kind of like, wishful thinking. Who gets Doom? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is like the old 90s mindset, right?
Doom. We actually know Doom. I met Doom when he was ZEV, like KMD. I met Sub Rock. We used to kick it and play Mario Kart, Nintendo in George's living room for weeks straight. All the songs of MISCHIEF and all of us. So like we go way back. And I just kept in really good touch with George over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spent a lot of time in New York because my mom lived out there for like 13 years.
Right.
And so I was on the scene a lot. Like people thought I lived out there and shit. And he's like my best homie out there. So I was like, I'll hit him. And he immediately like, it was all good. And that's how that happened.
Yeah, that's
dope. Shouts out to Kurious, man.
Yeah, man. Constipated monkeys. No doubt. Hell. Man, what's up with this Christmas project, man?
I didn't even, hey, Mark, I hadn't even thought about that. I mean, since Doom passing, I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's crazy. It hadn't even crossed my mind that's, you know what I'm saying? I thought about Kurious, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because he's grieving as well. But yeah, that's crazy. That's really like that's like a story piece for that song now, man. In the wake of the tragic loss,
Hell yeah.
Ark, you ever run across Doom, when he was out west, or ever cross paths with him any, or no?
Never cross paths with Doom, man. But I MF Grimm that's my man.
Right.
I do a lot of stuff with MF Grimm.
Yeah.
So but it's funny because I met since my Doom stories, I met MF Grimm because I called the back of the Doomsday CD, and I called Day by Day Records because I was like, yo, my shit dope, man. I need to hit Day by Day Records, man. You know what I mean? At the time, I was like, they fresh, you know what I mean? Because they were. Then they was dope and what they was doing. It's the back of the Doomsday joint. They had the number on there. Boom, I call, Grimm picks up the phone. I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm trying to, blah, blah, you know what I mean? And I think at the time I was trying to put some beat CDs out through them or something like that. But anyways, long story short, we chopped it up. I sent music over to Grimm. At this moment, I don't think he was even messing with Doom, but at that point, it didn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? And then I was on tour with Inspector Deck and Planet Asia, and I actually met Grimm, you know what I mean? And then from there, boom. But it's interesting because MF Grimm, had a lot to do with MF Doom, obviously. I never even figured out why they had the same MF.
Nah, dude, that's a trip, man. He used to rock with them. I met Grimm back then with George and meeting all of his people. They had a real big crew, and this is before he had his incident and stuff back then. So like, Zed was around, and they were like clicked up. You know what I'm saying? This stuff I haven't even thought about in years. You know how like, when a tragedy happens, man, it just makes you think of all the shit you hadn't thought about in that, or a lot of things pertaining to them or whatever person.
I've had the same thing happen this week. Plus, like Meeks and I have been talking about this, and my good friend Coop and a couple of other guys that were kind of running around us when we were able to be around Doom for a couple of years, like we said earlier. And it's just wild, the stuff that kind of pops in your brain that you think about, you haven't thought about in a while, and even things like you totally forgot about. Just as you kind of unpack all this and, random shit like this happens and you think about that, you think about that story. It's, it's a lot for sure.
Yo, real quick, shouts out to MF Grimm and DJ Fisher, man, and the whole Day by Day entertainment situation. He used to be our label for years, so.
Word, y'all did? Okay, I didn't even know that.
The Prophetics. The Prophetics records came out on that, out on Day by Day. Yeah. So
they took real good care of us over there, man.
Yeah.
No good doubt. People, man. Good people.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So what's up with this Christmas album, y'all? I was definitely not expecting that.
Hey, oh, that's crazy.
Got the fucking Santa Claus got a fucking bite taken out of his fucking head on the cover of the
Cold Country.
Hey, that shout out to Nicola Gisticola. That's the dude who did the artwork for Chamber Games, Black Switzerland, and Cold Country. And you know he did all the he did the concept and everything, took the photos, did the graphic design. So shout out to Nico. But yeah, Cold Country. Art, you might be able to. I mean, you might be able to kick this.
It's such an about face from Black Switzerland. That's what's so fucking funny about it. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys think it's funny, but when I saw that shit on Christmas Day, I was like, what are these guys doing? Like, what is going on right now? I mean, this shit looked like a fucking like a movie soundtrack or like something to like some like movie about a love story on the plains of fucking North Dakota or something. I'm like, what are these guys doing?
Oh man, yeah, that's definitely a curveball, man. We definitely threw a curveball, man. So we were finishing up Black Switzerland, and I think we might have been mixing. I'm pretty sure we were probably mixing or something. And I'm pretty sure it might have been Art's idea. He's like, man, we should do an album and put it out like on New Year's Eve to like, so it to be like full circle from when we recorded the first song for Free Dope on New Year's Eve, and we'll have a fourth album. And he was like, we should make it like we should. Well, I can't remember exactly what happened yet next, but I think after he said put it out on Christmas Eve, I think after that we was like it should be a Christmas record. But you might be able to remember how that happened.
Like we was gonna put it out on Christmas, and it was gonna be a Christmas record.
Word.
You know, we had a lot of we had to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was something like we couldn't just put out a Christmas record. Like we ain't about to do Jingle Bells and shit.
Yeah.
So it was like a whole like night of just trying to like figure out how we gonna do a fucking Christmas record, and you know, and it'd be Christmassy, but still somehow not be.
Right. How do I make a Christmas record and it not be a Christmas record? Like, right, exactly.
You know what I mean? It was, it was definitely a long conversation on how to get that done.
I love that shit, dude.
And the next process after that was like, we was like, okay, we started listening to a bunch of beats that he had. Some of them was made on the spot, but to start off the process, we listened to
no. Those joints actually because all those joints became the interludes. So those were joints we had.
The interlude joints.
Because all those end up being interlude beats. Yeah,
and to set the vibe off for like how the album was gonna go, and then he started making shit, and we just like put it together, man. And we really, this was the first album that we made that we was dealing with time. You know what I'm saying? Because all the other albums, we were just making them, you know what I'm saying? And then when they were done, we'd be like, when can we put this out? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really any like, we're going to put one out this day and then this day and this day and make it 4 quarters. It wasn't no shit like that. But with this album, it was coming out New Year's Eve, and we knew that at the very beginning. So that detail alone made it a different kind of get down because we're dealing with a time frame, you know?
Yeah.
So we had to get it done.
Say that again?
Christmas.
Yo, man, we love all the covers, man. I mean, they definitely, I think they really played a major part in piquing the interest of the people that, wanted to see what else y'all had going on, man. Like, what are those conversations like, especially when you talk about releasing vinyl on a company like Chopped Herring? Do y'all come up with a cohesive plan for what the cover is going to look like and what it's going to represent for the project and things like that? Talk to me about that.
Our dude Nico, for the first album cover, that's just a picture that had like me, Ark, and some other people in it. Like I think like Was Lord Finesse in that picture?
Yeah, Lord Finesse is in that picture. Yes.
Oh, word.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
We got you.
But yeah, so it was a picture that Nico, our photographer friend, had taken. And then so somehow, like, one of our homies just grabbed that photo and cropped everybody out and just did some shit. So the dude who did the rest of the covers, actually, he took that original picture for the first cover, but he didn't do that one. And so when he realized that we had used his picture, he was like, man, you should let me do the rest of the cover. And this is like a friend of ours. He's like a known photographer, but like he's really like, he's also like, he's into the music and the culture. So he's at all the events and stuff. And like, sometimes he travels and goes to events that we're at and he'll shoot some photos for us. He's just like a real cool dude and a dope photographer. And so he said, let me do the covers. And we were like, sure. You know what I'm saying? So he came up with the idea for Chamber Games cover. He came up with the idea for Black Switzerland cover. And he came up with the idea for Cold Country cover. But he did ask us what the albums were about before. Like, he's like, so what is it about? Well, and so we tell him what the albums were about and blah, blah, blah. And then we let him hear, like, you know what I'm saying? Not in the case of the last one, but because it just happened so fast. But we would talk to him before he came up with whatever he had, you know, whatever he ended up with. And he'd come back and show us shit and shoot us like samples in the group chat along the way and see how you feel about this and how you feel about that. He also took pictures with us. He shot the photos for Chamber Games and Black Switzerland. So yeah, it was like the covers. A shout out to Nico, man. He although all of it's a cohesive effort, and he definitely talked to us, but that was his artistic vision, and it was just we just okayed it. We didn't really like have a whole bunch to, you know. He just did a good job. So everything he came with, we were like, yo, dope. That,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Ark, this isn't the first time you've dropped something around the holidays, though. I mean, this time last year you dropped the joint with Fahim and Casa, right?
Yep. Them joints. I guess it would have been this time last year. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays things be a blur.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Had that been the plan all along for those two joints, like back then, or no? I think we lost him.
No, I think those kind of just came together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And let me get some. Yeah, them joints just kind of came together. You know what I mean? The one with Fahim I've been working on for a minute.
Okay.
And also with Casa, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they just sent me the lyrics and boom, I just mixed them down and we dropped them.
Gotcha. All right. You got some on the new Noah record too,
that
right?
Whole attitude of just, you know, I got to say once again, that whole attitude of just, you know, dropping your music, man. You know what I mean? Like dropping your joints, not even tripping.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that a few times. I think when I ran into you at A3C like 3 or 4 years ago, we were even kind of talking about that, about just, you know, taking the complexity out of it and just going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something will stick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. Especially, like, I mean, and from my perspective, coming from a group situation, it's like, and with being where I'm more known for, it's like, if I still want to make music, like, you know, like everybody has life situations and getting together and making albums together and stuff. And it just becomes a lot of moving parts that make things happen at a little different speed. So it's really incumbent upon myself, if I want to put out music at my own speed, to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? As a solo artist,
right?
And that all goes back to that. Like I'll be wanting to drop. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I've dropped consistently over the years, but none of it has really been straight up solo shit. And I've been getting that from a lot of people who rock with my music and stuff. They're like, yo, man, you keep putting out this dope shit, or just like, you know, you did this beat shit and all of that shit and these duo albums with people, or producing this album or whatever. But I hadn't really made a solo album since 2007. The only other solo album I really made, you know what I'm saying? And that was just like super experimental, and just because everybody, you know, just like, fuck it, let's make a solo album. But I just hadn't in all that time, and so that was another thing coming into 2019, like that goes along with the whole drop your music, drop your joint. I was like, I wanted to be in that situation, you know what I'm saying? And I hadn't figured out. I already had that in my mind before I even went to our studio, just in my own plans in my own life. I just hadn't figured it out yet, and then it just kind of connected that day, because I went there to record a song for somebody else, this brother who paid me to do a verse for a Christmas song, for a verse that he could give to his little brother as a Christmas gift with him on it and me on it, and he gave it to his little brother. So I needed a studio real quick, you know what I'm saying? And I was calling people I knew, and Ark was the first person I called, man. And so yeah, ending up in that situation of just being like, well, we both want to get shit out there. We ain't trying to sit on shit for mad long. We're not trying to polish it out. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, and that's dope. But this is not what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just about agreeable moments. You know what I'm saying? You get with somebody who's doing the same shit that you're doing, and y'all will be able to do it. And it doesn't make it better or lesser than what anybody else is doing. It's just like some people are deciding that this is what they want to do. And you know, being in that situation that's where I wanted to be, because I got ideas and raps, and I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? And COVID didn't do nothing but kick ass in that. You know, light a fire under that. I want to rap more than ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I was already on that train before COVID even hit. So why not just roll with that momentum? So we rocking that same shit with with Cold Country. We riding that same shit into on everything. I think I might have texted Ark last night. I was out in San Jose last night, or Milpitas, San Jose. I must have texted Ark at like 12 something at night or something. It was like, man, I'm ready to get back in the studio, bro.
No, that's real shit. No, that was what time was it? That's real spill. And I was like, yo, I ain't gonna be back at that bitch till probably end of the week and shit.
Yeah, no doubt. But that just goes to show that, like, last night I was already thinking about that shit. And this ties into the whole, like, man, record your music and drop it. You know what I'm saying? Get it out there. If you, especially if you an artist, like if you an underground artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, make that shit and drop it. And like Ark had said earlier, like, man, he's someone who could keep up with him and shit. I'm feeling like the same way. I'm like, okay, somebody that's gonna want to work all the time and whenever they had the spare time to do it outside of their family and their life, being here doing this shit. And that's where we found ourselves. And that's, you know, 4 Down, man. And the Christmas album at the end, I mean, you know, anybody who's rocking with us, they like, what these motherfuckers gonna do first quarter? You know what I'm saying? You know, if they end with a Christmas album, believe how we did the Christmas album though, right? It's not like all like typical Christmas shit. It's like, you know, but it still keeps in the spirit of the whole like vibration of the holidays and shit.
Word.
But yeah, we ready though, man. We ready.
After you do 3 albums real quick, boom, you need to do something. You know what I mean? What you gonna rap? Just rap again?
Right,
you gotta do something that has a theme, man, or something, man. You know, because you know, now it's at the point, you know, once you do enough, it's like, yo, we want to push the envelope. Right. You know what I mean? So like all the singing on that record, you know, that's from a duo. We put the homie Chris Riggins on that joint doing his comedy stuff and just kind of doing the interludes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You know, like, let's think. Let's like, you know, let's push the envelope, man. Let's try to, you know, get creative. You know, at this point,
Architect, if you don't,
who knows what's coming next, man?
Right.
Architect, if you don't produce, mix, and master these projects from start to finish, do you drop 4 this year, or is what's the word I'm looking? Delegating those other tasks out, the mixing and the mastering? Is that potentially hindering you from getting 4 projects out if you don't do it yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got to have your own. I mean, you know.
What's the challenge there for you, bro?
For me,
that's
you know,
a lot,
I mean, if you got your bread up or whatever, and I'm not saying my bread ain't right, but I'm like, I'll just buy my equipment. Why am I going to buy somebody else's studio for them? It's like, you know what I mean? Right. It's like I put my money into my own craft. You know what I'm saying? Rather than go and, you know, like I said, go cash out at the studio. That's cool too. But I spend a lot of time, you know, I just buy the shit, buy the equipment. I'm like, my studio's not in my house. You know what I mean? Like, I rent a place for my shit to be at so that we can be free. You niggas could scream, yell, you know, whatever you need to do, man, to get this music done, because it's like the creative environment. And I need the raw energy to get what I'm trying to get across. You know what I mean? To the people, you know? So it's like, and I gotta master. I got to do it all, man. I sit on YouTube University.
You don't look at that as you don't look at that as being too much on your plate. It's something you welcome, right?
Absolutely, I welcome that. You know, look, if I had, you know, a certain situation is going, like if I'm gonna do something for certain people, I guess I would probably go to the studio if that's what they need me to do. Mm-hmm. But I prefer to do the things in my environment so that I can give people the complete vibe that I want them to have from me. You know what I mean? Down to the twisting of the knobs.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yo, I got a question for you guys. What do you? I'm not trying to be in your pockets either, but like, what do you? Dropping 4 projects in a year. What do you personally benefit more as far as how fans consume your music? Like, is Bandcamp the best way? Like, is streaming the best way, or is it a mixed bag? Like,
I believe it's the mixed bag.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe it's a mixed bag. That's why all of these albums, except for the Christmas album, we released on Bandcamp first and had it out for at least a month on Bandcamp only before we put it on streaming platforms.
Okay.
But I do believe it's a mixed bag, and streams is more like a compounding kind of thing. It's the bell curve, exponential growth type of thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas Bandcamp is more instant. That's why we did like special shit for Bandcamp buyers, like signed copies of collector's items. Just to differentiate, so like a person who prefers to buy this stuff from Bandcamp can have that opportunity to not only just have it earlier, but also have something that's specific if you're more of a collector vibe. But yeah, it's a mixed bag because the streaming and having that much accessibility to people for people to get it, and then added to the fact having 4 projects out, it's a compounding thing. It's and it works very similar to like my own BMI checks that I get. Every artist gets 4 of them a year, right? Or I don't know how ASCAP works. I think it's similar.
Yeah.
And like, I remember my first ones I got like after having this big, huge hit record and getting somewhere on Billboard and shit with an underground record, you know what I'm saying? And having all this notoriety and all this radio play. Like my first couple checks were not big, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were like $1 here, $2 here, and $7 here. But then, this is like, in the 90s, so you compound it now, and those is like nice checks every month, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Every quarter. And it took a compounding kind of effect for it to grow like that. That's where streaming comes in, and that's what makes that important. Especially if you're an underground artist, where there's not going to be a whole lot of money and marketing put into your initial push to see those initial big numbers. It's all about compounding your shit, and that's one, knowing your business, to putting it out to where the streaming revenue is coming back to you, and that's how me and Art did our stuff 50-50, and also just having enough stuff to out and generating enough interest to get spins, and that's a long-term thing. So
for sure,
to answer, mixed bag.
Yeah, and you guys have got your respective.
Like vinyl deals.
My bad. Go ahead.
I
was
going to say also like vinyl deals or like merch deals or any kind of merch and stuff. That's more instant and compensates for not seeing any streaming money for a long time.
Right.
Or any new shit.
And I guess you've got
it's all significant, but
sure.
You know what I mean? It's small at first.
Yeah, I guess you've got compounding. You guys all have your own respective fan bases as well, right? So all that kind of plays into the streaming thing as far as the compounding, right? So folks have different fan bases. Everyone's able to kind of, mix and merge with everyone, and I get that for sure. Yeah.
Once it's up there, man, it's up there for, forever. So it's like,
right, yeah.
Might be 20 years from now, somebody might jump on your joint and be like, "Yo, this is fly," and then all of a sudden everybody's on it. Yeah, we hear these stories all the time. So,
right,
do what you love, get it up there. Because I don't, me personally, I think it'll probably come to a point where maybe we can't just upload your music. So until that time comes, you know what I mean? Like, catch it, everyone needs to be getting that music done, get it up there.
Right.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that goes into it too, And I don't even want to sound like a fogey or nothing like that. It's just a realistic thing too. It's like, man, it's like cats ain't like 18, 21, 25, 30, even 35. You know what I'm saying? Like those, the time, the amount of time you have in a day is less. The amount of time you have in your life is less. You know what I'm saying? Or a life doing that, I should say.
For sure.
You know how many people can be 70 jumping around on stage? You feel me? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. None of us.
Woo, man.
You know,
boy.
But I'm saying, so when I go into the fact that, like, you know, I'm in my 40s, man, and like, granted, I don't feel old. Like, I'm very much kid-like in a lot of ways, just in my energy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not like I'm a kid or no shit. I'm whatever. I'm a man, but I'm saying I just got that vibe. So I see myself doing it for a while still. So I don't mean that where I'm at is old, but I'm saying when you're at this age, you have to take account of where you are. And I really don't think that motherfuckers who really trying to do it right now should be waiting 5 years to make a record or waiting 3 years to make. I'm not saying people can't do what they want, and I'm not criticizing anybody else. I'm just saying this was something that I thought myself coming into 2020. I was like, man, this is hardly the time for me to be nitpicking about anything. And I don't mean this to imply that I mean any kind of rush. Nothing like that. It's just
but your energy is still up on it, so you might as well take advantage. Exactly,
man. Use the time wisely, man. It's like even now at this age, and thank you. But even at this age, I look back and like, man, if I would have been on my energy from 30 to 35, like how much music did I put out there? You know, I'm not going to be saying that about no other year in my life ever.
Mm-hmm,
you know what
right.
I mean? Because I'm just going to use the time to just do it. You know,
exactly.
and again, I really have to state it's not even a rush thing, like your days are numbered type thing at all. It's really just on some like, what the fuck, dude? It's better use of precious time. You know what I mean? It's the kind of same shit that change you if you have like a kid or like a niece or something. You start looking at shit different. You're like, oh man, time is fleeting, man. It ain't like you got to chase it, but it's right here at all times just to be you. And if this is what I love doing and this is what I'm passionate about, why am I doing it at such a slow rate? And I've never been a slow musical person anyway. If I'm not like out making vocal records, I'm still stacking hundreds of beats and doing all kind of other shit. And like, you know, I had a sponsorship and all, you know, just shit with music. But I'm saying as far as like an MC, that's what I was coming into this 2020 with. I was like, man, I'm going to be rapping. And I'm going to make beats and I'm going to be rapping this whole time, man, and all that shit.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to keep rapping into 2021 and keep it pushing. And it's just about like, you know, not wasting no time, man. You know what I'm saying? You can be frivolous when you're young and like figure shit out. But when you are older and you're supposed to apply your wisdom, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just keep gathering that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Apply that shit and gather some more, man. So, and music has always been a passion and an outlet for me. So that's what I'm using to do it, man.
Yeah, especially when
it's awesome. Actually, it's actually awesome.
Yeah, especially when one of your peers passes too, right? I mean, something like the Doom situation happens, and that just totally like, you know,
that can put it in perspective for you for sure.
Oh my goodness, man!
Yeah,
it kind of like to be like positively selfish, like what it does for all of us in some way. Because I look at that shit and I'm like, man, I would have loved to hear so much more music by Doom, man. I'll be like, well, shit, them motherfuckers gonna look at me and go, so whatever happened to me, it's gonna be a lot of shit from here on out. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I'm glad I was on this momentum. You know, inshallah, thank God, all the shit. And I'm gonna keep that vibe going because, you know, like, God willing, nothing happens. But if anything does, at least, you know, people are gonna be able to go over my last shit as well as my practice. And this is, oh man, I hope this is no way, obviously it's not pointing at Doom in no way. It's just how it makes me reflect on what time I got left. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's real.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. That's real. Oh, yeah.
Real.
Yo,
hey, fellas, one last thing from me, man. Any updates, any status updates on Hiero Day? I know, you know, with the pandemic and everything, but are y'all still having talks potentially? Maybe if you know some beautiful ray of light comes through and kills the fucking coronavirus, putting that back on the calendar and getting it done again?
I would have to say that, who knows for sure, but I would like to say that, like, everybody's waiting for us to be able to including us, waiting to be able to throw Hiero Day and Hiero After Dark again. It's completely, who knows what shit looks like when the dust settles, but that's definitely something that we want to bring back. I feel like it's going to be like super celebration type vibes whenever that day does come. So I think it's going to be a no-brainer for us to want to do that. But till then, we just got to keep ourselves alive, man, and keep ourselves going. You know what I'm saying? Like, the music business is taking such a hit. It's up on its head, man. That's another reason that's why people should just be recording their ass off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, you really can't perform at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And shit, like, I got like I hit the studio and got other jobs and other hustles and other businesses just to supplement what performing artists like myself missed off of this pandemic, man.
For sure. Right.
So I think the main thing is everybody just find a way to stay busy, keep money coming in, man, and then when the day does come, when we can start gathering in numbers again, there will definitely be a Hiero Day and Hiero After Dark, man. Like
that's what's up.
I gotta think that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I do.
I really do think, man, it's going to be an explosion. I don't think I don't like you use words like Renaissance and things like that, but I mean I really think once we get past all this, the live events and live music and anything that you're not able to do, man, the shit is just going to be incredible across the board, man. I can't wait. Y'all need to get your live show ready. A+ and Architect need to be on the road.
It's going to be crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, like Art, that's a trip. We've talked about that like a couple times. Haven't really gotten in depth about it, man. But that's gonna be its own monster.
Yeah, man. That's gonna be serious.
God willing, everybody just stay safe, man, and that we get some responsible leadership out here for whatever that means. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a trip, man. I just want people to be safe. And so when we do get the party, we get the party big.
No doubt.
I'm looking forward to that.
I got one more question. Ark did a joint with Tajay this year with fucking G-Rap, man. What? Talk to me about that. Are you there? We lose you?
Wow, man, that was just crazy. Well, we were overseas and doing a show with Souls of Mischief and 38 Special and Cool G Rap they actually were the headliners of the show. So Tajay and Cool G hit each other then, and this was like a few years back. So when we were putting the song together, it was like, who should we get on the song? And I was like, I don't know, Cool G Rap. He was like, well, I don't know. I was like, well, hit him. And he hit him, and boom. The bro was like, yo, send me the beat. And there it is.
Damn.
There it is.
That's crazy.
It's such an honor to work with these guys because, you know what I mean? Things like that just happen. You know what I mean? Like, they just happen every time. It's nothing like, they edged in the game in a way where it's like, yo, make the call. And they just make the call. And then, the cats be down to work. So,
that's my mentality, Architect. It's like we done traveled around and bumped into this person. And it's just that thin of a line. So why not make the call?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Real talk, though. I got to say, for 2020, what I learned was make the call, man. Just make the call, man. Trust.
Bam.
It's all good.
I'm with that.
You wouldn't even be thinking about making the call unless you knew your shit was right.
Yep.
Right.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Make the call, dude.
I like the sound of that for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you guys want to lead the people with, man? We've taken enough of your time tonight. This has been incredible. What do you guys want to? How you guys want to wrap this thing up?
I definitely want to say, man, first of all, thank y'all for having us on here.
Man, thanks for being here, bro. Big time, man.
Thank you, brother. Much love. Thank you. I'm honored. Yeah, man, just everybody stay safe out there. Check out A+ and the Architect, Free Dope, Chamber Games, Black Switzerland, and Cold Country. All 4 out on all streaming platforms. Also, if you want to support them, you can go to X Plus Bandcamp. Also, look out for us in 2021. We're not done. Actually, we was chopping it up earlier. We just getting started. We're just getting started. Everybody out there, take care of themselves, man. And yeah, man.
All right, beautiful.
That's I can't say more than that.
Word. Ark, what about you, homie?
Yo, I just want to say, peace to all the folks out there, man. Keep safe once again. Thank y'all for having me and Plea on here. I'm looking forward to that next A3C. I just wanted to put that out there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what happens then. Hit the Bandcamps, you know what I mean? A+, you know what I mean? Hit the Bandcamp, Google A+ The Architect, all platforms. And, we just going to keep it live for 2021, man. We're going to figure it out.
All right, beautiful. Thank y'all again. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you. Seriously, this has been
Fellas,
great.
Y'all stay up, man. It's great talking to y'all, man. And, man, we just look forward to more music from y'all, man. Y'all keep it pushing, man, for real.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all, man. And I know y'all don't do the repeat thing, man, but if we do another 4 this next year, you're going to have to bring us back.
It's not a problem.
We'll have you on the Mix Show interview, man. We just the interview sessions are so are so like we get in so deep, man. It's kind of you need some time to kind of like for things to happen for people to come back and be able to tell more stories. Like Architect's a perfect example. Like, Ark, we had you on when you started going real hard with Fahim and kind of like
Noah.
With Noah and all those guys, right? So it's kind of dope to have you back around. And my homie Koo's been actually bugging me like, man, you need to have some of these guys back on, again, that you had on in the beginning. But actually, speaking of Meeks, we didn't even mention this week is the 6th anniversary of the show. So
yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
y'all setting it off for us this year, man. Y'all setting it off at the top of the year for us, man.
Real quick, y'all. I do want to send a shout out to the guy Fahim, Noah the Flood, K Burns. You know what I mean? All the young guys that's getting it in, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Westside Gun, Conway, all them dudes, man. I just want to, before it's all said and done, salute those dudes, man, because, they're great inspirations to keep this shit popping.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Real talk, man. So, I just wanted Makami, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
Easty Knack. I just want to shout those kind of guys out because, they're definitely getting it cracking, man. It makes me keep doing it.
You talk about inspirational, man. The God Fahim interview session with us is up knocking around 19,000 plays at this point. And that's what everybody keeps telling us about that interview is that as young of a cat as he is, and he's a little older now since that interview, but still in that age range where he like, definitely a younger cat making a name for himself. And a lot of people find him to be inspirational. So you do want to kind of look at those dudes and pull what you can from them because they making it happen right now. So shouts out to them for sure.
Exactly. No doubt, man.
Yeah, those are all the guys that kept this show going,
While we giving shout outs, I got to definitely shout out like Soldier Mission HIEROGLPYHICS crew. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yeah.
Please. Please. Yeah.
Greg Beetle, all the homies, man. I just didn't want to leave nobody left out.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Definitely. Pep love. Yeah.
Word. Yo, don't O and Lou have a joint or two out right now, don't they? Right, they're getting ready to drop, aren't they?
Yeah, they're getting ready to drop.
Yeah, man. That one's fire.
I don't know the date, but I know it's soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think
that joint is fire.
Yeah, there's a single running around right now, I believe. I can't remember.
There's a single out now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Beautiful.
Yeah, man. Me too. There, likewise. For sure.
All right, fellas. Thank y'all again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank y'all. It's been an honor, man, and we definitely looking forward to coming back. And happy congrats on your 6th anniversary, man. Much love.
Man,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, peoples.
Thank y'all.
Man, happy New Year. We appreciate y'all, all man. Right. Peace to y'all.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Word. Well, Meeks, there you go, my bro. Wow.
Yeah, man. Top of the year. Just like that.
That's how you do it. That's how
we are the God, man. We are the God, man. Still.
Yeah.
Even in 2021, we still the God, man.
Even in 2021. Smithsonian Grade twice a week.
No doubt.
It's Meeks. It's Doe.
It's Doe.
MF Doom forever.
Vanguard Radio. MF Doom for infinity and beyond. Shouts out to him, man. Rest in peace to the brother.
We out. Peace, y'all.
Peace.